Hello and welcome. My name is Lenka, and in this episode, I want to show you how to learn vocabulary faster and never forget it. You're going to discover why we forget new English words, how your memory really works, and how to use powerful learning techniques like repetition, storytelling, associations, and artificial intelligence. We'll also build a simple, daily plan you can follow, no matter how busy you are. If you've ever learned a new word, used it once, and then forgot it, you are not alone. Every language learner has experienced that. You read the word, umbrella, on Monday, and by Friday it's completely gone. You try to remember it, but your brain says, "I've never heard of that before." It feels like a waste of time. But here's the truth, it's not your fault. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is how most people learn vocabulary. Let me explain. When you first learn a word, it goes into your short-term memory. That's like a small notepad, it can only hold a few things for a short time. If you don't use that word again soon, your brain throws it away. Why? Because your brain is smart. It saves space for only what it thinks is important. If you see a word one time, your brain thinks, "Okay, this is probably not useful. Let's delete it." This is what scientists call the forgetting curve. More than 100 years ago, a German psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus studied how fast we forget new information. He found that people forget about 50% of new information within 1 hour. After one day, they forget more than 70%. And after a week, they forget 90%, unless they review. Think about that. You study hard today, and by next week, you remember almost nothing, unless you review it the right way. But here's the good news. You don't need a perfect memory to learn vocabulary. You just need the right strategy. And that starts with understanding how memory really works. So, let's talk about that. Your brain has two kinds of memory, short-term and long-term. Short-term memory is like a whiteboard. It's quick and temporary. Long-term memory is like a library. It's permanent. Your goal as a language learner is to move words from short-term memory into long-term memory. But how do you do that? There are 3 powerful ingredients that help move new vocabulary into your long-term memory: repetition, emotion, and connection. Let's look at each one. First, repetition. If you see a word only once, you'll forget it. But if you see it again and again, at the right times, your brain decides, maybe this is important. Let's save it. This is why repetition is key. But not just any repetition. The most powerful method is called spaced repetition. Let's imagine you learn a new word today. You review it after 10 minutes. Then 1 day later. Then 3 days later. Then 7 days later. Then 14 days later. Each time you're about to forget it, you see it again. This strengthens the memory like lifting a weight at the gym. You make it stronger. There are apps like Anki, Quizlet, or Memrise that do this for you automatically. But you don't need an app. You can use paper flashcards, or a notebook, or even ask ChatGPT to remind you. Let me show you a simple method with just paper. On a flashcard, write the new word on one side. On the back, write a sentence with that word, plus a funny picture or story. Review that card today. Then put it in a box labeled, tomorrow. Tomorrow, move it to the 3 days later box. And so on. This system works, even if you use just 10 minutes a day. Now, the second key is emotion. Have you ever wondered why you remember your first crush, your most embarrassing moment, or a scary dream, but forget the word you just studied? That's because strong emotions create strong memories. So when learning vocabulary, you need to add emotion. Let's say you learn the word, terrified. You could write, terrified equals very scared. Okay, but your brain won't care. Instead, imagine this. A small child is home alone at night. Suddenly, she hears a loud noise. Her eyes go wide. She hides under the table. She is terrified. Now the word becomes a feeling. You'll remember it. You can make it even more powerful by connecting the word to your own life. For example, I was terrified before my first job interview. That sentence is now connected to your personal story. The more emotional or unusual your sentence is, the easier it is to remember. Use your imagination. Make it weird. Make it funny. If your brain says, "This is boring," it will forget it. If your brain says, "Wow, that's interesting," it will keep it. Now, the third ingredient is connection. When you connect a new word to something you already know, your brain accepts it faster. For example, let's say you already know the word happy. You're now learning the word joyful. If you understand that joyful is similar to happy, your brain says, "Oh, I get it. It's just a more formal version." That connection helps. Another way to make connections is to group words by topic. For example, food, travel, emotions, work. Instead of learning random words, build them into themes. You can even connect words by using them together in a short story. Let's try it. Take these 5 words: rainy, coffee, tired, late, angry. Now build a story. It was a rainy morning. I was tired. I spilled my coffee. I arrived late to work. My boss was angry. 5 words. 1 story. Easy to remember. This is called contextual learning. You don't just learn words, you learn them in a real situation. Now, let's take this further. One of the most powerful techniques for learning vocabulary is storytelling. Let's talk more about storytelling. Stories are powerful because they include emotion, connection, repetition, and context, all at the same time. Instead of memorizing a list of words, you turn them into a small scene. Something you can visualize. Something you can feel. For example, imagine you're learning the words suitcase, airport, nervous, lost, and help. Instead of learning them one by one, create a mini story. I was at the airport with my suitcase. I was nervous because I couldn't find the gate. Then I got lost and had to ask someone for help. Now you've taken 5 words and made them real. They're not just words. They're part of a situation. They're living inside a memory. This is especially useful when you combine it with writing or speaking. Each day, take 3 to 5 new words and create a short paragraph or audio story. Say it out loud. Record it. Listen to it again later. You're not just practicing vocabulary, you're training fluency, pronunciation, sentence structure, and memory, all at the same time. Let's go deeper now. There's another technique that language experts use called the memory palace. It's a mental trick used by world memory champions. You imagine a familiar place, like your home, and you place new words in different rooms or objects inside it. Let's say you're learning 5 food words. Imagine you walk into your kitchen. On the table, there's a giant apple. In the fridge, a steak is dancing. On the floor, a bag of rice explodes. On the stove, a pizza is singing. And in the sink, a fish is swimming. Strange? Yes, but effective. Why? Because the mind remembers visual and unusual images far better than flat words on paper. If you want to remember a word forever, make it weird and put it somewhere you already know. Let's move to something more active, shadowing. Shadowing means repeating what you hear, immediately, like an echo. You hear someone speak, and you say the same sentence right after them, mimicking the pronunciation, rhythm, and tone. This is an amazing way to train vocabulary in context. Let's say you hear the sentence, "I don't understand this word." You say, "I don't understand this word." Then again, and again, until it becomes natural. This helps your speaking, your listening, your fluency, and your vocabulary recall, especially in real-time conversations. You can shadow short videos, podcasts, movies, or even text generated by AI with voice. Repeat a sentence 5 to 10 times. Then pause, say it yourself. Try to change it slightly. Replace one word. Add another word. That's how you make vocabulary flexible. Now let's move to modern tools. Today, you have access to something no generation before had: artificial intelligence. Tools like ChatGPT can be your vocabulary coach, conversation partner, or quizmaster. And they're available 24/7. Here are 5 powerful ways to use AI for vocabulary practice. First, ask for example sentences. Say, "Give me 3 natural sentences using the word improve." Now you can see how the word is used in context. Second, ask for a mini story. Say, "Write a 3-sentence story using the words mountain, tired, goat, and coffee." This helps you learn words together, not in isolation. Third, ask for a short dialogue. Say, "Create a simple conversation between 2 friends using the word nervous." Read it, shadow it, rewrite it in your own words. Fourth, ask for a quiz. Say, "Test me on these 5 words: mistake, explain, forget, lesson, practice." Get instant feedback. Fifth, ask for a spaced repetition plan. Say, "Remind me to review these words in 1 day, 3 days, and 7 days." You can even track your progress over time. AI never gets tired. You can practice at 6 a.m. or midnight. You can speak freely, make mistakes, and nobody will judge you. Use it as a safe space to grow. Now, let's talk about your environment. If you surround yourself with English words, they become part of your life. You absorb them naturally. Change your phone to English. Label things in your room with sticky notes: door, lamp, chair, window, pillow. Use English for Google searches, YouTube, Instagram captions, even your grocery list. Every time you see a word, you reinforce the memory. Every time you use it, you lock it in deeper. Now let's talk about your daily plan. Because without action, knowledge is just theory. You don't need to study for hours. You just need a smart, simple routine. Here's a plan you can follow in just 20 minutes a day. In the morning, learn 3 to 5 new words. Choose them from a book, video, app, or AI. Write them down. At lunchtime, review those words. Create a funny sentence or story with each one. Say it out loud. In the evening, shadow a dialogue or short text that uses those words. Record yourself. Then test yourself. At the end of the week, review all your words from that week. Put them into one story or practice dialogue. Then reward yourself. You're building momentum. After 30 days of doing this, you'll have over 100 new words, not just memorized, but internalized. Words you can speak, use, and feel. Let me tell you a real-life story. There's a man named Carlos. He's from Brazil. He works as an electrician and studies English in his free time. For years, he struggled with vocabulary. He tried to memorize long lists of words. He wrote words again and again. But nothing stayed. Then he changed his method. He started learning just 3 new words a day. He made short stories with them. He used voice apps to practice shadowing. He asked ChatGPT to quiz him and explain new words in context. He created simple drawings for each new word. After 3 months, something amazing happened. He could understand YouTube videos in English. He could speak with confidence in basic conversations. And he didn't just remember the words, he owned them. Carlos didn't study more, he studied smarter. And now, so can you. Let's now break down the 7 habits of successful vocabulary learners. Habit 1. Be consistent. Learning 3 words every day is better than learning 30 words once a week. Small steps every day lead to big results. Habit 2. Use your voice. Speak the new words out loud. Use them in real sentences. Teach them to your pet or say them to yourself in the mirror. Habit 3. Create stories. Make the words come alive. Give them emotion, place, characters, and problems. The more unusual or funny the story, the better. Habit 4. Shadow regularly. Train your ear, mouth, and brain at the same time. Repeat after native speakers. Copy their rhythm. Feel the flow of real English. Habit 5. Review wisely. Use spaced repetition. Don't cram all your reviews into one day. Spread them out over time. Let the forgetting curve work in your favor. Habit 6. Connect to your life. Make words personal. Don't just say, I learn English. Say, I want to improve my English because I dream of traveling to London. The more you care, the more you remember. Habit 7. Use technology. Let AI help you. ChatGPT, Anki, voice recorders, online dictionaries, podcasts. All these tools are here to serve your success. Remember, you're not lazy. You don't have a bad memory. You just need a method that works for you. Let's now build your own 30-day vocabulary growth plan. Day 1 to 7. Learn 3 new words a day. Write 1 sentence each. Shadow 1 short dialogue. Ask AI for example uses. Review daily. Day 8 to 14. Group words by theme, food, travel, feelings, create mini stories. Record yourself speaking. Use each word in 2 new sentences. Test yourself on 15 words. Day 15 to 21. Start building stories with 5 to 7 words. Practice shadowing longer audio. Begin using voice messages or English chats. Explain each word to someone else. Day 22 to 30. Review all your words so far. Pick 10 favorite words and use them in a personal story. Teach someone your best memory techniques. Reflect on your progress. At the end of 30 days, you will have learned at least 90 new words. But more than that, you'll have a system, a habit, a brain that's training to think in English. You may be wondering, what happens after that? Simple. You keep going. Make vocabulary part of your lifestyle. Read in English. Speak in English. Listen to English music and shows. Write a daily journal entry. Make it a part of who you are. And every new word, treat it like a friend. Invite it in. Talk to it. Use it. Keep it close. Let's now answer a common question. How many words do I need to speak English well? Research shows that the most common 1,000 words in English cover about 80% of everyday conversation. That means you don't need to know 10,000 words to communicate. You need the right words, and you need to know how to use them confidently. So don't feel bad if your vocabulary feels small. Focus on depth, not just size. It's better to know 500 words really well than 2,000 words you can't use. Master the basics. Learn how to use them in different situations. Make them automatic. And over time, new words will come. Naturally. Because your brain is now ready for them. Now let's talk about what to do when you forget a word. This will happen. It happens to native speakers too. Don't panic. Don't freeze. Instead, describe the word. Let's say you forget the word backpack. You can say, it's a bag for school. You wear it on your back. People will understand. You'll keep the conversation going. This is called circumlocution, talking around the word. It's a powerful skill, and it helps you feel confident even when your memory fails. Here's another trick. When you can't remember the English word, say the word in your language and ask, how do you say this in English? You've now turned a moment of forgetting into a moment of learning. Remember, it's okay to forget. What matters is how you respond. Now let's talk about confidence. Many learners feel shy. They know the word, but are afraid to say it. Maybe you're afraid of making mistakes. Maybe you feel embarrassed about your accent. Maybe you think others will laugh at you. But here's the truth. Nobody cares if your English isn't perfect. People admire you for trying, for learning, for improving. Think about babies. When they learn to speak, they make mistakes all the time. But do we laugh at them? No, we cheer them on. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Every error is a step forward. The real mistake is staying silent. Use your words. Use your voice. Speak up, even if it's not perfect. Because the more you speak, the better you get. Let me give you a little challenge. After this episode, choose 3 new words. Create a sentence with each. Speak them out loud. Then write a short story using all 3. Repeat that tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. In 1 week, you'll have 21 words and 7 stories. That's powerful progress. Now, let's summarize everything we've learned. You forget new vocabulary because your brain throws away what it thinks is not useful. To make a word stick, you need repetition, especially spaced repetition. Emotion, to make the word meaningful. Connection, to link it to things you already know. Context, through stories and real-life situations. Speaking, so your mouth learns too. AI tools, to practice smarter and faster. A consistent daily habit, not just random effort. You don't need hours every day. Just 15 to 20 minutes of focused practice is enough. You don't need to memorize lists. You need to experience words in action. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be brave. You don't need to do it alone. You have tools, resources, and now, a plan. So what's next? Start today. Choose 3 words. Speak them, play with them, teach them, make them part of your world. Do this every day. Build your word power slowly, steadily, and with joy. You are learning more than vocabulary. You are learning how to think in English, how to express yourself, how to connect with people around the world. That is powerful. So keep going, keep learning, keep growing. And if no one told you today, I'm proud of you. You're doing something difficult, something brave, something amazing. You're building a skill that can change your life. So believe in yourself, trust the process, and never give up. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you found it helpful, share it with someone who's also learning English. Maybe it will help them too. And if you want more practice, check out other episodes where we talk about speaking fluently, understanding native speakers, and building your English brain step by step. This is Lenka, your guide and friend on your English journey. Until next time, keep learning, keep speaking, and never stop believing in yourself. Goodbye for now. Like this story? Then don't forget to follow and subscribe for more powerful stories just like this one. Every week, we bring you inspiring lessons, real-life success stories, and English listening practice to keep you learning and growing. This is Learn Smarter, where motivation meets language. Subscribe now, and start building your own legacy, one step at a time.